You are alive. Hello, YouTube world. Bigfoot lookers, researchers, informers, understanders, people who are into the Bigfoot type stories and understandings. Hopefully, you're open minded and into learning lots of new stuff, because this is a channel that you can learn some new stuff on. So I talk about stuff that not many people talk about, if any. So it can get interesting, and today went super interesting for me. Hey Rob, how's it going? It's Rob saying he's here. Cool, man. So yeah, man, I got it was, it was a great experience of interaction today. Interaction in such a way where whoever she was trying to get out of the picture very quick. Yeah, not bad at all. And there was other people there, so for it to really happen, it summed up and made sense. I was there with Jay, and there was some barking that kept on going down this creek. And I told Jay, I said, Jay, that's this dog. I recognize his voice. He keeps barking until his master picks up the rock and throws that special rock again. He won't stop barking. Because we could hear the rock being thrown, whatever. And then the dog would be barking, in order, in the proper order there. But anyways, I could just, and it went on a few times, I could just tell in the end, it was like me and Jay were maybe even thinking about leaving or something, I'm not too sure, but I just said to him, you really want to go back there and see what's going on, don't you? And Jay said he did, so we went back there. And as we come to just through this little bit of bush where the dog is and the guy on the bike is, and I'm seeing them well through the but I'm actually looking through some bush that's kind of leaned into the trail a little bit. I do, you just want to give a person, especially if there's a dog there, you want to just give them a vocal or something if you know they haven't looked and are just okay with you coming up on them. So as I push that little branch out of the way and stuff, I give a vocal of, hey bud, or something like that. Hello, Michelle. Mitch, how's it going, brother? Just in the beginning part of telling an interaction I had today, like a real interaction here in Mission. So I'm just coming right up to that point. So basically, there's this bush. If you want to get the rest of the story, you can go back. But I come up to this bush, and there's some guy on the other side that I want him to know that I'm coming, and his dog's there. So I'm just pushing the bush out of the way, and I say, hey, bud, like that, or how's it going, or whatever I say. And he says, oh, it's good, or whatever type thing. I don't know if there was a noise off, sort of like a direct 90-degree angle, or a straight degree angle, however you would say that, I guess, off of my left shoulder. So just from my left shoulder going straight into the bush there. I don't know if there was a noise or something that, for whatever reason, I just chose to look there. I choose to look there, and I'm looking only about 7, maybe 10 feet into the bush. And I see something black that I can easily just describe as, say, the back of a black head. So in other words, you have a little stuffed animal or something like that. You have this black head or whatever. And so I'm not seeing any face. I'm not seeing any of this. I'm just right away, I see this black image. And all of a sudden, that black image goes down. And after me and Jay got a closer observation of the area right there, because Jay was right behind me. And I react by saying, I see, I'm saying something I don't recall, but I was kind of in unison as this little guy's making his moves. I kind of say, and again, like that. So Jay kind of got a vocalization verification of me saying it at the same time, and then he's going in with his eyes and stuff, but he wasn't lucky enough to grab a view. But anyway, so basically what had happened was, so I see the black view. I see, oops. So I'm way off with my camera there. Sorry, guys. How about if I go, bloop. You don't know what those stickers mean. So anyways, the black image, I'm looking, I believe, at the back of his head there. He goes bloop under a small log, and then does another bloop like that. So, you know, and basically what I'm seeing then is I'm seeing the black image, the black image, and the black image. And that's why I knew it was 3. And that's why I know I was really seeing something. So right away, as I'm going into the bush a little bit there, I'm saying to Buddy, I just seen some, you know, the other guy that was there, do you have another animal with you, a dog or something like that? He's got nothing with him or anything like that. 2 beers. Cheers. Hey, Brown. So, yeah, and for us to think then, if it could be a different variety of an animal, like a skunk, a weasel. The one guy, he even, the guy on the bike even threw a joke kind of like an armadillo. There's nothing else that would have been sitting there observing this guy while he's doing whatever he's doing. I'm not even sure what he was doing, but his dog was in, and they come to the park quite often, or he comes to the park. I've seen him there a few times anyways. And he's kind of, he is behind doing a number of the little rock things on the creek. So we really can't count on them moving rocks amongst making the pools, because he's making pools and stuff. So one day I'll talk to him about it. But anyways, and see what he's all about on that stuff. But anyways, very large rocks and stuff. We can assume it's not him. So anyways, where was I there? So yeah. So Buddy here, little Buddy, whoever he was sitting very close to watching where this guy was in the creek there. He was sitting comfortable. He didn't get any kind of a signal, or he missed the signal somehow that me and Jay were coming down the trail. And bam. I just pushed the bush, and maybe I even did that where I'm pushing the bush and I'm going like this to hold the bush out of Jay's way, and you know, I'm looking to where I'm kind of holding the bush, and that's where dude was right in there. And yeah, because he did the bang, 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 then for me it was, and it was kind of that fast too, where, you know, if I would have gotten a face, he wasn't in any ways wanting to look at me. He probably was looking, say his eyes are this way, this is his eyes side, and he's looking at me, and probably just as I'm busting through that trail, he did his turn right around like that, and is just doing his thing like that. And yeah, so his very first movement might have even have been from that, him doing the initial turn, then bang, bang, but fully 3 times. And yeah, little, small. You know, if I were going to give a size, and what I felt would have been the back of the head, that's all I felt, it would have been the back of the head. You know, I could have gotten a better idea, I guess, but I would have put somewhere around there, softball size, maybe a little bit bigger than that kind of a size. So that kind of a size of a head being allowed to be that close to the human with his dog gives us some kind of understanding too, because obviously mom and dad and whoever else is all around, because that place is just full. I'm going to look into some of the comments here or whatever, but I'm telling you, I don't know if Jay's on here commenting right now, but that place is just oh, there's Jay, yeah, just crazy full. Alrighty, so I'm gonna, wow, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Cool, guys. So, Memphis, hey, how's it going, brother? Mark, not bad. Mitch is here, and Brown. Brown on, there's Rob again, and there's Bigfoot Memphis again, Brown. What's he got? He's got his beers going. Oh, Brown's drinking tonight, guys. He's gonna keep us here all night. Kidding. Bigfoot Memphis is saying, Glenn, did you? Okay, he's asking Glenn something. Jay, that was some awesome today. That's Jay. He was my partner today out in the field, and yeah, just some remarkable stuff. You know, Jay, I ended up staying longer, and it was kind of tough for me to stay. I stayed probably close to about a half an hour, but then I started getting pretty hungry. But I kid you not, man. Yeah, they started to feel more comfortable instead of being those back further shadows that I was telling you about. Those thinned up and they came quite close, and they kept up with the noise stuff too. Was it a juvenile? I totally believe it must have been a juvenile. That's how I believe it, unless, you know, a different species thing's going to come into it. But this one would have, you know, from what I could make out of that head and stuff, it would resemble something in this darkness of a black, in a fabric-y thing that would make you think like a hair, a thick hair or something like that. Or I'm not saying that I got a good visual on saying he was furry or hairy or anything like that. I'm not going with that. But, you know, for sure, he was one. She was one. Dude, I didn't know what those stickers mean. Are you referring to the sticker like my my thumbnail? Oh shit. I can't see that. Maybe that's what you're talking about, eh? Oh, okay, you guys are way down here and I'm way up there. So I'm jumping ahead. Okay, got one of those growled at me in my last vid. Oh, wow, eh? Nice. That's what Jay was saying. He was thinking that he heard a growl tonight too when we were together hanging out earlier this evening. Because he went on a little bit of a lone hike while I ran up to my car. It does get a little scary down there at night. Yeah, I hear ya. Hey, big-headed Martian, how's it going? Oh, what did you miss? Basically, I told about my little experience of interaction I had today. 2 other guys were there, and they heard how excited I was and stuff about it. So they got to hear all my lingo about it, what was going on, but they didn't get to grab the visuals. Joe, how's it going, dude? It's going good. Life's going pretty good. Can't complain. I could. Ian, looks like you got a lot of evidence. I have tons of evidence. You know, it's pretty crazy how much evidence when somebody, you know, somebody of some kind of power that can help us as a community, because we all have certain amounts of knowledge that, you know, we can share with somebody that needs the knowledge. And I got my fair amount of stuff that I think is pretty high credential stuff. As soon as there's that guy saying, hey man, show me more, then I get to just lay it out on the table. And then hopefully from there the guy is going, okay, I see what's going on here, we're going to the next step. Whether we get the next person into that step or, you know, he's magically got money, because, you know, it takes money. You know, part of what has to happen, from my point of view, what has to happen next in this is I want to kind of just continue with my research. And like today when I got that viewing of the one, I didn't have my camera on at all or anything like that, because I just, you know, me and Jay were just going for a walk and stuff. I know where I am and stuff, and I'm going towards the dog. I wasn't thinking at all, whatever kind of thing. I wasn't into just carrying it. I did do one video today, but it's basically I set it up stationary, and it films for about 25 minutes while me and Jay walk down the creek. I'm going to add that up here probably tonight, and that could be entertaining. And basically what I say is use people like me to try to do work and zoom it all in. I could be just, and that was where I was wanting to say, I could be just doing this constantly and quite oftenly if I figure it out well enough with some of my plans, because you'd still have to realize that you got to be sneaky. Like, how much English do they really know? And I know that they're right around here. See those stairs, guys? They're getting more and more beat up. You want to take a look at them? Let's take a look at them. Drop everything down to the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you around. And why I'm doing this, I'm just going to set us near the stairs here, like this. You guys can observe, and I'll do some pointing with you for you, just so you really are getting it. What you're seeing with a lot of the white stuff, there, yes, you're correct. That is it. That is it. That is it. So now if you start going up here, you can connect bright with bright, and you can tell they've gone in deeper. But you know, pretty much all that white that we're seeing, that's all their creation. Right along here, it's not so much because of the light, it's because they've also taken off more of the green moss that's on there. In the daylight, it really shows up a lot. You can see where they've really gone along, and they like to follow the cracks that were there. Even, you know, on this landing up right there, this is a landing right there. I'll go up there. The cracks are becoming wider. And we might hear some peeps and stuff. Look, that's pretty deep pretty deep digging. Sorry, going in there now. Looks like they're either pretending again that there's dirt there, because they'll just put dirt in there to kind of make it lake that way, or else they're really getting to a dirt level. Yeah, and that's that. See if okay, so if we go there and we try to see if this is really crumbly, it really isn't. Like, I've done a number of tests where this stuff isn't really crumbly. So I believe that those couple of pieces that I just touched and this is all preempted. And here, I'm going to give you guys a beautiful little thing that I noticed the other day when I came here, because I put the rock back in. See if I can remember this. I came along and there was a rock down here. Oops. And I picked it up. And I put it back in the right spot. I'll try it just for another second here. I thought it stood out better than that. Pretty sure it was these two steps. Okay, it's gone. Whatever's gone on with it, it's been damaged more, or I'm just overlooking it. But literally, it was like it was a nice looking chunk like this. It was sitting right here, like almost like it was upside down. I just came and sat right here. I picked it up and it sat right back in the place, and I thought that's kind of interesting, and I wanted to show you guys. But anyway, so I want to show you also right over here. You might be able to pick up on this. Where did I see that? I almost felt like I was seeing like the finger scuffing. Like, I think it's this one, but because of the way the shadow's casting now, it's not, you guys won't be able to make it out very well. But it's almost like you're getting a little bit where you're seeing a little bit of a swipe in the movement. Anyway, so I will come back up here now, and look at how some of these chunks are. So that's kind of like what I found down there or whatever, and I was able to put it back in just like that. But I swear, man, I come along, like I've even done a number of checking to see if any of the rocks are coming loose. Like this one, you can hear it. It's kind of getting pretty close in its looseness. So here's this. So understand this, that these cracks that we see in stairs and different things like this, and then you see it come down the face, here we would believe that it's fully penetrating it. In this old lousy work that's 100 years old, it probably is fully penetrating the whole thing. But I'm telling you, say if you've seen it on your newer concrete where you see like you think it's a crack and you think it's even going down the edge, so you think it's all the way through. Might not be the thing. That could be still in scribing stage and scribing stage. And eventually it'll probably be snapped and break through, but might not necessarily be right off the bat. So what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of spreading here. So this thing was quite thin, and you can kind of see how big it is. Looking at that foot, that's a size 18 foot. Joking. Thanks for the thumbs, guys. That's like 10-inch foot I got or whatever type thing. So that rock right there is probably about an 8-incher in length. So I'm seeing this widening. One thing I did notice, I think this was probably the very first hole that they were really getting at, because I was looking at how they're scratching and scribing at this, right? And then next thing you know, there's a number more of them appearing. And they will even keep them somewhat maybe dirty. Beautiful. Now, there's other thing that just popped in my head, what I want you guys to realize. They'll plant stuff to attract bees. They'll fake. I believe on this stair set, I've come across where they've made it look, and I've done it more than just here, but they make it look like it's been infested by ants. So just be aware of that, because we could throw down certain juices and stuff and ants will come there and leave. So there's probably floral juices and stuff that these guys know they could put there. They go with their sticks and stuff, and they'll put sticks, and then they'll drop the sand there around the stick, and then they just pull out the stick, and you got this pile with what looks like an ant hole going into it. I swear, like it's like yeah. And so right here you can really see how they're kind of working that this crack line. You see that, how it's a little bit of extra work going on there, a little bit extra cleaning. And then way up on here we're seeing where they're back into some chipping mode. I think you guys are seeing that. You know, this corner, you can see they've cleaned it off, the moss a lot more. And then up on that, you know, that plaque thing, I believe that calcium, look, remember, if you're still around, Jay, remember the calcium thing that we've talked about? Me and Jay have checked out a couple of rocks, like big rocks, almost as big as this, where we felt the whole rock was almost calciumified by these guys, like I seen it at a couple of earlier stages. Anyways, and it really, maybe a better way to say it is almost like it's crystallized instead of being rock. Like it's becoming crystallized. So, and the weird on that is, I almost feel like that has something to do with when they're scratching at it and stuff. And so. So, you know, if you kind of look at it in their way of how they do this, you could almost imagine, yeah, a boot broke that chunk off, and a boot broke, you know, a shoe broke that part off and stuff. And then they leave all this mess. Many times when they're doing stuff, they'll clean up the mess. Like if they're trying to destroy this rock without you knowing, they won't leave the ingredients around. Here, they're telling you, this is old, that's why it's falling apart. This, if they just wanted it to disappear for some reason, because you know they're defacing. I'm going to be bringing you guys some beautiful defacing work that's going on right now out here. I'm going to have a couple of examples. You know, this rock, I don't see them really doing much on it, but if this was a huge wall that they were working on, they don't necessarily, in all cases, come and just break out a great big chunk and take it away when it's a rock wall. They work down on the wall this way in thickness. So, and yeah, I got a couple of, here in Mission, I got a couple of awesome examples, because I hope you guys are connecting with this. This is an unbelievable thing going on here. The only other explanation for this would be somebody's coming by and vandalizing it. Do you think Tin Man would do that? Do you really? So let me see. Anything big going on out here? Hey Venom, how's it going? Jay, Rob. So if there's any big questions, because there was a lot of stuff, and that's probably your guys' conversation going on pretty good there too. So if anybody has anything big to say to me, now's the time to print it up, and I will follow I'm gonna get involved in the conversation that you guys are having. Let's say it that way. Seeing as though there is one rock that flips upside down, and it's this one. Because I got out of my car one time and I came walking around here, and this rock was sitting here upside down. It was sitting there like that. And I pulled in and parked like I do, like this. And you know, the way I am, I was really surprised that I didn't notice that thing when I pulled in. I so much wanted to find where that other rock came out. But anyways, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm back on talking time. Closest sighting? Today was pretty close, and that one there was Jay, remember I pointed at we talked about that log where it would have been on this side of that log and then on the other side. I'm estimating between 7 to 10 feet. I'm gonna go back and check out the spot a little bit better and stuff. You're doing that, Bigfoot Memphis? You're doing a lot of research on the city stuff? Oh, right on. Who's this? We got the Tiny Giant's Hand, or Band. I am from Australia. Cool. Welcome aboard. Have you heard much of the Otway Panther? No, I haven't, but I've seen some things out in this area here that, because my experiences I've had, I'm not going to necessarily say that they're all going to look like a Paddy type kind of being. There's something going on there, so something with a panther look, I could imagine for sure. So I could kind of picture something. They're saying, yes, there's been coming closer into the city. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? It's not that, not to knock your words there, Mark, but because I did a city inspection, and that was part of my thing, how I've come to fully be able to say that they're connecting with all the trees. They will be touching the trees. They will be marking the trees. They kind of own the trees, and it's not a marking of where they feel they need to pee on them or something like that. With certain, if we think about it, certain animals and stuff want to do that kind of a thing. It's more a marking of guiding in life and helping helping it guide. They're helping the tree. They're helping guide the tree through life, in a way. It's kind of like a statement. There's a number of different statements they can do when they're actually marking the tree to influence the life. So it's hard to just single down in a quick, easy thing like that. But I went into our busy Vancouver City. That's a busy Vancouver City. And the best things that I would like to check out now is something that trees that are on high-rises and stuff. Plants that are up on high-rises. I'd like to see what that's all about, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem, that they're somehow being able to get up on the high-rises or whatever. But other than that, I could tell they were in the city heavily in the way where they would come out and probably have farming nights where they get a feeling, slowness on this block, and they just go in and do whatever they have to do to the trees for their upkeep and then skedaddle out. But, so what conclusion I've been coming to is there's a big increase even in the country. So that's probably what you're really picking up on, is that there's not that it's their first time at all or anything like that, but it's just part of the increase stuff. And so I'm saying it in awareness in a way, because I believe that by the way a number of people are talking around, there's a big increase. And like I said to Jay today, I don't know, that increase is so weird and big and explosive that it might be because they've either come from underground, or their reproduction is maybe even going faster than before or something. I doubt it could be something like that. So it's kind of weird how it's hitting us all, and you're noticing it's busier in the city, and I notice that too. We have our park called Stanley Park. 10 years ago or 15 years ago or something, 10,000 trees fell down in a storm. I say that's bullshit. I say that's all part of what the Bigfoot manipulation, or whatever the word is there, to what they do with the trees. They incurred most of that damage by setting it up and making it look like a windstorm would do that. So I think these things are really coming to life where there's some pretty heavy duty things going on out here. So anyways, peace out from the Tin Man. I don't know if you guys can pick up on any stars out there. I'm talked out. Thanks for signing in.